So we're here in London today to talk about the brand new 10 to 20mm lens from Canon. It's an f4, so it's not as versatile as some of their other lenses, but actually because it's so wide, it's probably perfect in terms of letting light in. So we're going to go out and test it a little bit more around places like the Shard and get some big sweeping architecture shots, some shots of maybe Tower Bridge. But for now, I'm going to talk you through the specs. One of the things that's great about it is it's got a better quality than some of the other lenses. Now that's partially because of the RF mount and the large diameter, but it's also because of the short flange distance. And that's what really makes this lens special. As you can see, the design on the front is rounded, which will also assist you with getting something that's a bit more unique and a lot wider and vast. As you'd come to expect from Canon, it's got 5 stops of IS and 6 if you include IBIS. As I say, the RF range has always been really high quality since the day they started releasing the lenses, so that's not a surprise to us. The thing I would say that is a little bit of a surprise for me is that they've taken out the step ring. That being said, there's still a lot of functionality on the lens. Now, the really exciting thing about this lens is that it's one of the first ever to have peripheral control stabilization and peripheral coordinated control stabilization. Now, since it's the first, you're probably wondering what that means. What it means is that it's an algorithm inside the lens that's designed for ultra-wide lenses. Essentially, when you have a wide lens, often what happens is there is a distortion at the edges. And we've all come to kind of expect that and to get used to it. And when you're editing your images, you take that into account. However, on this lens, they're saying that that's gone and that the wobble at the edges has actually been reduced. So we're going to go and test that out and see if that's actually working for us. One thing I would say though is this is a pre-production model. And so whilst we're hoping that it still shows you the capability of this lens, it's not a model that we would sell usually. So just bear that in mind when we're testing it out. So this lens is also the first L series that uses STM, which means that it performs faster. Now I'm going to break that down for you because it's a little bit complicated. Unlike other STM motors in other L series lenses, this particular lens features lens position detection sensor. So that means that the focusing lens doesn't reset even when you turn the camera on and off. So now I want to go out and test it and see if all of these features actually work. One thing I would caveat with this is it is incredibly wide. And whilst you can get some really unique street photographs, which we're going to show you shortly, it's also fair to say that it's probably built for something more like sports or for estate agency, architecture. So it's probably quite a niche lens. So let's go and test this out and see what we get. So one thing I'm already noticing about it is that there is no distortion at the edges, which for something that's as wide as 10, that's actually quite impressive. The other thing that's really lovely about this lens is that if you're trying to take pictures of big buildings, if you're on a commissioned project to try and show off something beautiful like Hampton Court Palace or castles, the detail is amazing, it's incredibly sharp, and you're getting so much of what you're shooting in that it really is the perfect lens for that sort of photography. So I think it's performing really well already. It's actually incredible how sharp it is and how it's also just completely picking up on every detail, edge to edge, corner to corner. It's beautiful. And at a view like this, what's really nice is that you're not having to figure out which shot you want and where you want to frame, because it's wide enough that you can actually get in a really, really lovely sweeping shot of the city. So I think if you were traveling a lot, for example, and you saw lots of like big views from big rooftops, again, like a really perfect addition to your kit bag. So yeah, I think I'm really impressed with that. I think it's fantastic. So this actually has 16 elements and 12 groups, which is quite impressive for something that's very wide. We've actually just been up to the Shard to test it out and see how it performs. And I'm really impressed, not only with the ability to shoot wide and to shoot beautiful landscapes or cityscapes, but also while I was up there, I took a few portraits of Luke, who's behind the camera. and it doesn't distort at all. So even when you're taking something quite close, the minimal focus distance is actually really good, and there's no distortion if you're taking portraits. So theoretically, you could use this lens in a much more versatile way. The one thing I would say, and this could just be my personal style choice, but I've definitely been veering more towards 20 than 10. And I think it's just that 10 for me is far too wide, and it could also be the environment we're in. So for me, I'm really not touching anywhere near that 20mm mark, but for you, it might be very different. So we'll put a few of the images on the screen now, and hopefully you can have a look and see what you think. So we've been out and about in London today, mainly near London Bridge, to test out the 10 to 20mm f4 Canon lens. I have to say, I am not a wide angle fan. So usually I am a street photography, 35mm, 50mm. I wasn't really expecting to think it was that wonderful, but having shot a few things from the top of the Shard, and also actually some street photography on ground level, I have to say I'm really impressed. And whilst it's a beta sample, so there's probably a few things that aren't working quite in line with what they would be with the actual samples that we would normally get, it's incredibly sharp, it's incredibly fast, the recycle time is minimal, the stabilization is good. Yeah, I can't say I'm having any issues at all. I do think there's a few downfalls for me personally that I don't really enjoy, one of which is that the AF and MF switch is slightly too high for me. And also the stabilizer on and off button is in the wrong place. So for me personally, I tend to find it's easier to adjust sort of here, which is where they usually are on a lot of brands of lenses. But in this case, you have to really come over the top, and it's quite an awkward position to sort of switch into. The other thing is it's backwards. So the focus ring is actually the wrong way around, which is slightly frustrating to get used to. Once you've gotten used to it, it's fine. And then the other thing I would say is that for me personally, whilst 20mm was perfect and I really enjoyed shooting with it, 10 was far too wide. That being said, the flexibility that allows you is insane. And if you're shooting sports, for example, or esports, or even just real estate, if you're inside shooting a house, you will find that you can get so much flexibility and depth with this lens. That's just not what we were shooting today. So I really do think it's a great addition to a kit bag. I really think that people will enjoy it. We're going to put some ratings on the screen now for you. So I have to say, maybe I'll change my mind and start shooting wide. Maybe. So I've been Tiffany, we've been Wax Photo Video, and we will catch you guys next time.